Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program, the camp of Bongbong Marcos claims victory in the 2022 presidential elections. The Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting kicks off its independent manual audit of election returns. And experts weigh in on the alleged 68-32 magic in the presidential polls. PPCRV Chairperson Myla Villanueva and Octa Research Fellow Guido David join us live. Less than 2% remaining in the unofficial vote tally, but not much has changed in the rankings. Bongbong Marcos is still in the lead in the presidential race. Meantime, while the official canvassing of votes has yet to be finished, Marcos has already appointed his running mate, Sara Duterte, as Education Secretary. The Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting kicks off its independent manual audit of election returns. This coincides with the random manual audit being conducted by the Commission on Elections together with Lente and NAMFREL. So let's go straight to the source of the story. First off, we have PPCRV Chairperson Myla Villanueva. Myla, welcome to the source. Thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay, let's talk about the election returns. How many have you received so far at the PPCRV?
So we received the bulk of that, which comes from the NCR, and Luzon's coming in. So we're at about 22% as of last night.
22%. So just to clarify, are these all from Luzon?
Luzon and NCR, but we have reports that Visayas, a bulk of Visayas will be coming in today.
Or maybe for those who are asking, bakit hindi pa pumapasok much from the Visayas and Mindanao? Could you please explain that to us?
You know, Picky, first, I wanted to thank all our volunteers there. They work nonstop on election day. So they are the same people who waited for the fourth copy of the election return, which are now being sent to UST. This is not electronic. These are physical pieces of paper, 107,000 of them. Some areas are in the mountains, some are islands. So imagine our young people riding boats, riding tricycles, horse, anything they can in order to send these returns to UST. It's not an easy job, and we have to commend them for their efforts. But to add to that, I think by tomorrow, Mindanao is coming in and we can do our work, and we hope to finish it very soon.
Yeah, you know, maybe that's something that needs to be repeated over and over again, that these election returns are brought to the UST physically. Hindi po siya electronically pinapadala dyan.
That's correct, Pinky. And again, imagine the young people in the polls. I'm sure you saw them. I've been receiving messages of thanks for our volunteers who, it was a hot day, high turnout, but they were very patiently helping as much as they could. So the spirit of the PPCRV volunteer was very energetic and happy on that day. But these are the same people who will pick up that fourth copy way in the evening. We were talking to them at 4 a.m. as they were making their way to our hubs to help, bring the election returns, which you are seeing on screen right now.
Yeah.
Aside from that, Pinky, one at a time, each of these returns are encoded in these screens. In the right side of the pavilion, pass 1, on the left side, pass 2. So that's how careful we are with the votes of the public, so that accuracy, credibility can be established and people can accept the results as audited. We're not the only citizens arm. There's also the random manual audit happening.
Right. So once these election returns are encoded in the computer, there is another set of volunteers who actually check and confirm what is encoded vis-a-vis the election return.
Well, Pinky, it actually happens automatically. The PPCRV has so many technology experts. I myself have been in technology for 34 years, and really, in my day job, I run most of the large complex systems of our corporation. So it's very automated. So whenever a volunteer in QPAV, in UST, encodes, it automatically matches it with the electronic return that is coming from the server, right? Where the VCM sent their results
Electronically. Yeah.
So to explain to the public, what we are doing is answering that ever big question and doubt in their mind. What happens to my ballot after I stick it into the VCM? Nobody sees that, right? So to alleviate and assuage that concern, this process in UST is assuring that no dagdag bawas is happening, there was not a hack, and things are as it should be. So while we're only at 20%, today we're going to be releasing the match rate. Not been seeing any issues with the match rate. I
But-
think this is going on
But
as it
Myla,
should.
isn't it the matching of the manual audit to the transparency server? Doesn't that begin today?
It already began on election night
I
when
see.
yes, yes. So we're at about 22% of receipt of the manual ERs, no? Yun yung medyo matagal, Pinky, because again, we're 500,000 volunteers, but we're also volunteers. They do their own way at their own cost to really consolidate this. And thank you to our courier services who've offered their time and resources for free to bring all these ERs. But we're not resourced in a manner that makes this fast. It's really the spirit of the volunteer that gets these ERs to UST.
So because the matching has actually began, have there been any concerns, any problems, any irregularities that were observed?
Yeah, I'd like to clarify that. So much fake news happening. We're very, very peaceful, organized, as you can see in your screens. It's a happy place, and people are generally happy. Young volunteers are happy to give their time. Nothing unusual. We would flag it, of course. So let's please ask our public to stop spreading fake news. As you can see, and in fact, we're going to open more seats for observation so that people can see that the work is ongoing. Volunteers sometimes wait 4 hours outside, but happily because they just want to be part of the democratic process. So let's make this a good learning, transformational experience for our youth. And please stop passing around fake news. We're as it should be at the command center.
Okay, we need to take a very short break. This is The Source on CNN Philippines. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, PPCRV Chairperson Myla Villanueva. So, Myla, you said that the matching began since election night, but has the PPCRV come up with what could be called a matching rate?
Yes, we're going to do that today. We thought it prudent not to do that on the first night because we had a few election returns, but the bulk has come in and we expect to start announcing the match rates today.
I see. Okay, the match rate, that's something that will come out today. So, as you mentioned a while ago, there's a lot of information that's coming out. Even netizens were questioning this 47% consistent difference between front-runner Bongbong Marcos and Lenny Robredo. What can you say about this? I also understand that yesterday you also got experts from different universities to also look into certain doubts or suspicions or issues.
Yeah. Pinky, this is not the first time this has happened. If you remember a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, during the uh, candidacy of former President Aquino Noy, there was the 60-30-10 issue. This is about the law of big numbers or the law of large numbers. Very hard to explain to the public statistical phenomenon. So
Okay.
I thought it prudent to invite experts from various universities to look at it. Of course, our own experts have looked at it and found nothing irregular. It is not unexpected that the trend line will be a certain pattern because obviously as more data comes in, it becomes closer to the mean. But it's also good to include and involve our mathematicians. We had Ateneo, La Salle is coming today. We've invited UP and they've accepted. And I expect everybody to have the same conclusion, but it's very independent. That's why I asked them to, slice and dice the data as they wish.
How about this tweet? Because we need to clarify this. There are a number of tweets coming out and even messages on Viber chat groups. Do you need more? I read something that the PPCRV is requesting volunteer statisticians or mathematicians to further analyze the data. Is this true?
Like I said, that only means that I invited the best mathematicians in each university we have our own conclusion. We
Yeah.
don't see any irregularity to the pattern, but we thought it would be a nice civic experience for all the students around the arena to also hear it from the faculty members of the various universities.
Mm-mm.
Pinky, we launched this hour on in the arena called Geek Time. And here we really bring out, discuss with the students statistics and what they're seeing in the election process in a technical way, but in a manner that they understand.
Yeah.
I think to fight fake news, we need to educate our young people. What is it that they're doing? Why are they encoding? What are these terms that they're hearing? And I think that's the best way for us to fight fake news. So we
Yeah.
call it Geek Time, and it's available in PPCRV FB pages. It's quite a lot of fun. So for those who are spreading fake news, or of course it's emotional, please check first with our Facebook pages, and we post pictures very regularly. We post results of the studies that our academics are
Okay.
it's a bit of a nosebleed because it's really really deeply
I'm
technical,
sure.
so we try to normalize that on the
And
floor
and
by
what would be their biggest or most common questions or concerns?
Well, their common concerns, of course, um, are things getting better? How was it before in the elections of 2010? I mean, is this how it is? Because a lot of them are first-time voters.
Mm-mm.
So, Vicky, what I always tell them, I was once like them, I see myself in them, and talk about our experiences during the manual elections
Yeah.
where we would see ballot snatching, we would see, I used to sleep in the arena of the Rizal Stadium, mountains of ballots, dagdag bawas and all that. I think our young people and our voters should appreciate, we take it for granted that we know the election
Yeah.
results in a day. It used to be 30 days. It used to be very violent. I think we should share the good improvements
Okay.
also our
And I
elections.
heard this is the first time you've actually attracted so many volunteers. We're showing them on the screen right now. Again, of course, this is in UST. A question also is how are they vetted?
Okay. Pinky, when prior to the election, we are a non-partisan organization. So they're vetted very carefully at the community level. No, non-partisan means you cannot be campaigning. But at this time, the election is over. In fact, I would love for even the political parties to come in, sit down and encode so that they appreciate this process. We do not have any, it's finished. We have voted. So the vetting is just if you're vaccinated, you want to spend time, are okay to wait in line, we're fine for anyone to come in.
Do you need more volunteers?
Today, we asked for 300 volunteers. Again, patience is needed. You go there if you are willing to wait in line. But a lot of the ERs have come in. There's so much support from people. They send food. They send donations to help us support the operation. It is a huge logistical operation. The arena is large, but very orderly. I'm so proud of our young volunteers, our young people. Look, they're just sitting there observing. In fact, Pinky, we are probably gonna open more bleachers for observers, so that we can fight fake news and just report on the very positive vibe that is in the arena of volunteerism of our young people.
But compared to previous elections, what's your overall assessment of the 2022 elections?
Very isolated cases of, violence, but by and large, it's very peaceful and orderly. Of course, we have 915 VCMs that failed, but to put that in perspective, that's out of 106,000. I wish it could be perfected. And I have some ideas that we will probably lobby in the future beyond election period in order that we can continuously improve. But it's, I believe, going to be a high turnout after we look at data.
And as a last question, how long will it take for the PPCRV to finish its count?
The validation, not the count.
The validation
of the ERs. I think because we're doing 24/7 and there's so much activity being completed already, we hope to finish by this weekend. We probably will continue on a 24/7 shift. That's why we're asking for 300 more volunteers, especially later in the evening. We're full in the morning, but later in the evening, so that the 12 midnight to 6 a.m. can be also productive time.
That's, of course, the graveyard shift. All right. PPCRV Chairperson Myla Villanueva, ma'am, thank you so much for your time. And of course, thank you to all the volunteers over there at UST. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat to all the PPCRV volunteers who worked so hard to serve your country on May 9, before May 9, and now still continuing to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. And coming up, experts weigh in on the alleged 68-32 magic in the presidential polls. Octa Research Fellow Guido David joins us live. After the break, please stay tuned.